Hi folks, my name is Zuko and I'm the creator of Mixoniverse, and I'm here with another update to the game, the optimization and stability update, along with upgrading to Unreal Engine 5.6. So a lot of other really cool things came along for the ride with this update, so I'm excited to go over them all with you today. If you're wanting to see what's new, then let's go ahead and get going. So the first thing you might notice is that the entire HQ's lighting is a little bit different. I have quite a few more lights on the character. You can kind of see head bob is a bit more lit up, and just in general there's shadows coming from pretty much everywhere. So this is due to Unreal Engine's Megalight systems, so I have that turned on just for the HQ right now, just to kind of mess with it. And in general it seems to be working pretty well. For mixes it's off just to kind of keep performance the same, and I'm going to keep playing with it. All loading for all of the images in the galaxy map is a bit more optimized, so you can see it only loads what I actually have on screen. The other thing that's really important about this is that this fixes issues with memory leaks. The images for the galaxy map mixes were not loading properly. They were not being cleaned up, and now they are being handled a little bit more efficiently. Also, the universe should load a lot faster now, so you can see we have 188 mixes in the universe, so I had to figure out a way to make them load a bit more efficiently. So now the universe should be a bit more consistent in just to like what you load and how you load it. And same thing with the images. Because of that, it fixes some issues where like mod.io was rate limiting things. Some other people were reporting getting stuck in like the loading screens. So now when you go from loading one mix to another, it should be way more reliable than it used to be. And you might notice right out of the gate, there's a few things that look different with a mix. So we now have a way more optimized fog system, and this fog setup still culls out areas where the nodes are. So you can kind of move stuff around and you'll see that it'll automatically update. And it is all particle based now, so it is a little bit fluffier, honestly. Like it looks cooler, I think, than it did before. And it still has that good old like move things around and everything updates really nicely. This is also something that is scaled now. So what's really cool is for lower end machines, you can go to like low performance and you'll see that the fog does change how dense it is now. It also changes the distance in which when I get closer, you can kind of see it fades out which things are being handled for what's culling. I'm excited about that because that kind of offers a wider variety of players the ability to even play the game. Some other updates you might notice is that the rocks look a little bit different. These are now custom asteroids that I whipped up in Blender, and the reason why I did this is because nanite is now turned off. So I noticed with performance, nanite was actually causing a little bit more of a slowdown for a lot of players, and in general just was not something I was taking advantage of enough to keep it on. And if you know anything about Unreal, nanite is like the new auto LED system. I think for Mixoniverse, we just don't need it just yet, or really ever. We'll find out. And the other big thing that comes with the world is the Voxel system. So you can see how much smoother and nicer the Voxel 2.0 setup is. And this is because I have the latest version of the Voxel plugin. And some other really wacky benefit is we now have control over what is being drawn per node. So you can kind of see here, if I go and I change this to beach, I can change the entire top layer to a beach. So if you don't have anything in these, it'll automatically switch between the different versions. So you can see if I go here, it'll switch between like beach mode and not beach. But if I do change it to be like purple grass, you'll see those will stick to purple grass even in beach mode. So it gives you a little bit more control. And in the future, my goal is to update this, that there's quite a few more to choose from, but this at least is a proof of concept, and it seems to be working really well. And the voxel system just in general is much more efficient than it used to be, and way more speedy when it comes to actually updating the voxels, along with even like the layers. So if I turn off the layers, you can kind of see them update and change a lot quicker. So it makes the transitions nicer too. Grass rendering is much cleaner now. You can see there are still shadows on the grass, but it isn't nearly as like individual blade shadows, which is much cheaper for performance and honestly looks a little bit better than it used to. Grass is also part of the scalability now. So for lower end machines, if you set foliage to low, you can see that grass rendering, there's not nearly as many meshes to render. If you go to high, it'll bring back the full amount. So this kind of gives the ability for players to adjust what works best for their machine. Another really important change is that all of the particle effects in the scene, which are nodes and links, you can see when I toggle them on and off, how many things are actually particle effects, are GPU based instead of CPU based. And this was something I couldn't do in the past because of certain bugs that I was running into. It was blocking the ability to do that. So all of this stuff used to be CPU based, which caused a bit more on the draw thread and a bit more on the game thread. And I'm really excited to be able to finally turn that checkbox back on to GPU. As I said before, there's 188 mixes on the universe now, and you get stuff like this where you have 13 layers of really awesome vibes in a mix called The Four Towers by Dizzylicious. Everybody's making some really creative stuff, and I'm super grateful to see it all because it's really amazing to see all this stuff. And that's pretty much it. So thank you so much, everybody, for playing the game. It's been awesome to see everything, and I'm excited for all the new updates. The next thing coming down the line is the sample library update. So you can see a little bit more about that in the release notes and what is coming along. So thank you, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. It's been awesome, and good vibes to everybody out there in the universe.